12 News incentives to keep workers, what one local daycare is doing to attract and retain teachers. Plus, college training that comes to use earlier than expected.
Kind of a great final exam in real life.
But first, new plans to upgrade a controversial power line in Plymouth. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. As Plymouth has grown in population size, so has their demand for electricity. Xcel Energy developed an idea in the past to help address those energy needs, but many Plymouth residents objected to the plans. Now the company has a new set of proposals they're asking residents to consider. Delane Cleveland joins us now to explain. Delane?
Mike, in 2011, Xcel Energy proposed a project called the Hollydale transmission line, but the residents rejected that proposal because it would have brought high voltage lines through people's neighborhoods. Now it's up to those residents to consider several alternatives to help the power company meet the energy demands of the city.
As cities grow, just as we have to upgrade streets and sewers, we have to upgrade the electric system to accommodate that growth. So it's time now to invest in the electric system in Plymouth.
About 8,000 residents on the west side of Plymouth received pamphlets in the mail from Xcel Energy with details on the options to upgrade the power grid. Two of the proposals would require building a new Pomerleau Lake substation south of Schmidt Lake Road, while the other proposal would expand the existing Parkers Lake substation near 494 and County Road 6. These alternatives would also use wooden power poles as opposed to the steel poles running through residential neighborhoods that Xcel Energy proposed several years ago.
We put a lot of work into these. They're smaller scale. We really paid attention to the community. We listened to what they told us. So we're coming back with what we think should be acceptable options.
The public will have the opportunity to weigh in at two open houses on May 25th at the Medina Ballroom. Based on that feedback, Xcel Energy would then determine the best alternative and get final approval from the Plymouth City Council. The hope is to begin construction next year. Mike?
All right, thank you, Delane. Well, 2 years ago, Hennepin County rebuilt a section of Lake Drive in Robbinsdale. Now the county has to go back and do some more repair work. Today, officials blocked off a section of Lake Drive between Beard and Drew Avenues. A temporary traffic control sign will guide motorists through the construction zone. And the county is repairing a failure in a 20-foot section of recently installed sewer line. The problem showed up in a recent inspection. It's an area where there is poor soil. Hennepin County says the work is expected to last up to 3 weeks. There are developments in the race to fill Terry Bonoff's Senate seat in District 44, which covers most of Plymouth and Minnetonka. District Republican Party delegates have endorsed Paul Anderson for the nomination. Anderson was up against two other Republican candidates, Plymouth Mayor Kelly Slavic and Plymouth resident Cole Matheson. It's unclear if both will abide by the party's endorsement. Anderson served as Deputy Chief of Staff under former Governor Tim Pawlenty. On Thursday, district DFL delegates will endorse one of the 4 DFL candidates running for the seat. Senator Terry Bonoff, meanwhile, is leaving her seat to run for Congress. She picked up the DFL endorsement for that race over the weekend. Bonoff is running against Republican incumbent Eric Paulson in the 3rd Congressional District. Employers face the ongoing challenge of attracting and keeping good employees. One company with locations in Plymouth and Maple Grove decided to offer the incentive of paying for the education of staff members. Shannon Slatton explains in today's Business Matters.
Abajo. Down. Good job.
Keeping the attention of a young child can keep you on your toes.
Right now I'm really enjoying being here because of just the energy that all of this provides me. Barcelona.
That's why the curriculum at Little Newton's Nest moves at a fast pace,
Rapido.
with students changing activities just about every 15 minutes.
September. They have such a different energy and they're like sponges.
And there's a lot for students to soak up here too.
We teach the kids 5 languages and I think that's just amazing.
And a word that starts with X-ray. X-ray. There you go.
This program is popular. There are 350 students at this Plymouth location with a year-long waiting list.
Hi, friends. Hi.
But owner and founder Elisa McGregor says the center is still plagued by a problem common to most child care centers: keeping good teachers.
We feel like our school is really related to our teachers, and that is something with our growth and the way that I've structured the program. We need really good teachers.
So this year, she decided to start helping staff pay for their education, either by reimbursing tuition or helping pay off student loan debt.
Why not allow the staff to continue to grow within the company, and they're gaining experience as well as we're paying for their credits.
Education is so important, but it's so hard to pay back those bills when you're in education.
It's a perk staff members plan to use, advancing their education while passing their knowledge on to young learners.
So it's nice having that to say, like, here, we want to help you, we want to keep you, we want to help you out here.
In Plymouth, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Little Newton's is expanding at the Plymouth location to accommodate as many as 500 children. They also have locations in Maple Grove, Champlin, and Becker. Brooklyn Park will consider a tax freeze to help Japan's largest pharmaceutical company move into the city. Millennium Pharmaceuticals, a subsidiary of Japanese drug giant Takeda Pharmaceuticals, purchased the former Baxter Healthcare facility along Highway 610 for nearly $10 million. It plans to invest about $70 million into the facility as it gets ready to manufacture 2 drugs approved by the FDA. The potential tax abatement could range from $70,000 to $200,000. A group of Hennepin Tech students were saluted today for their actions during a medical emergency. A scary moment last week had a happy ending because of their fast response. Eric Nelson has more.
If it wasn't for this group of people, these individuals, I'm afraid he would not be here today.
Hennepin Tech culinary instructor David Eisenreich was a happy chef today.
I feel good in helping to save a life.
He served up free lunch to a group of medical personnel who saved his longtime friend after he had a heart attack last Thursday morning on campus.
I ran out to the lobby, and there was my friend laying on the ground with someone doing CPR on him. And we were all extremely afraid.
Some of the first responders were Hennepin Tech nursing students.
Our training kicked in. We didn't have time to think. We were just doing what we were taught to.
Who just happened to be near the cafeteria.
And it was just by chance they'd finished their finals, and they were walking by the dining room, and they saw him go down, and they just jumped into action. And it was amazing.
I was like the third person to give compressions and the last person to give compressions until he started breathing.
I started doing CPR, and my first patient too, so I was like, rib cracked. All right, I got this.
I provided breathing. I provided the respirations.
The students' quick thinking and poise under pressure
they did excellent.
Were a big assist to medical crews who later got to the scene.
It was kind of a great final exam in real life to kind of hop in there. You just, when you least expect it, to be put on the spot there. So I think they did a great job.
I think we were just in the right place at the right time, honestly.
Whatever the case, Chef Eisenreich wanted to honor their heroic efforts with some caloric payback.
We're thanking them in the only way we know how is food.
In Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
According to Chef Eisenreich, the man who suffered the heart attack is doing fine, and later that day was even joking around. Well, coming up, the Maple Grove community rallies around a Winter Olympic hopeful in acrobatic ski jumping. Then later, the regular season in boys tennis comes to an end as Armstrong takes on Orono. We'll have the highlights. But first, a terrific Tuesday, sunny and upper 60s. In Robbinsdale today, an eye-opening lesson on the treatment of Japanese Americans during World War II. Sally Sudo spoke about the thousands of Japanese Americans who were forced to move from the West Coast into American prison camps. She was only 6 years old at the time. Sally was taken to Idaho, where she lived for 4 years. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt ordered the incarceration of Japanese Americans after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor.
For a long time, it really made me ashamed of my own heritage. I felt that since there were so many hateful things happening to people of Japanese ancestry, and then the fact that our own government puts us in a prison camp, that there must definitely be something wrong with being Japanese.
And Sally says it wasn't until she was a married adult that she grew to appreciate her own culture. She also spoke about one of the secret weapons of World War II, the Japanese Americans who trained at Fort Snelling to provide U.S. military intelligence. A Maple Grove residents rallied behind one of their own this weekend. The Lions Club half marathon and 5K races were held Saturday, in part to help Olympic hopeful Elle Gaudette. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
Saturday's chilly temps didn't stop runners from participating in the 9th annual Lions Club half marathon and 5K. Normally, the races help to fund projects throughout Maple Grove. This year, organizers decided to help Olympic hopeful Elle Gaudette.
We were looking for someone in the community, someone to generate some excitement, someone to gather around, and celebrate Maple Grove.
Elle is from Maple Grove. Several years ago, she combined her love for gymnastics and her passion for skiing to become an exceptional aerial skier. Now she spends most of her time training at the Olympic Village in Park City, Utah.
Training schedule is pretty full. Every day we have 2 training sessions per day, like 2.5 hours.
Training is not only time-consuming, but it's costly too. Athletes pay for their own expenses.
Financially, it's hard sometimes with all the training expenses and traveling expenses.
Training is also intense. It takes a lot of skill and practice to ski jump off a ramp and make high-flying twists and turns in midair. Surprisingly, Elle is afraid of heights, but she doesn't let that stop her.
Hopefully I'll get a few new tricks this summer.
Elle is optimistic about her prospects of making it to the 2018 Winter Games.
I'm just going to keep working and keep going at it, so hopefully earn a spot in Team USA.
A $10,000 check from the Maple Grove Lions Club will help get Elle closer to her goal.
On behalf of the Maple Grove Lions, we'd like to make a donation to you to help defray your training and schooling and living expenses.
Elle said she was blown away by everyone's generosity.
I'm really thankful for all your support, and it really means a lot to me having my community stand by me.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And Elle says the check will help pay for traveling costs this winter as she competes at different events around the world. Coming up, an Elm Creek Elementary student's message on fire safety. But first, a marathon softball battle between Maple Grove and Osseo. John Jacobson has that and more coming up next in sports. We're starting with a softball game that's really more than a softball game. First, it was a really long softball game,
right.
and it's there for a good cause, raise money for cancer patients.
Right, a fundraiser, so it was a good event, but a very long night, a very cold night, too. A very chilly evening for softball, and then the game lasted 3 hours. Osseo and Maple Grove renewed their rivalry in their annual night game meeting at Maple Grove Middle School on a Cancer Charities fundraiser night. Top of the first inning, April Jacobs with a hit to the gap, bringing Andrea Denslake home, and it's a 1-0 Osseo lead. Top of the second inning, Bailey DeBoer drives one out. It's a solo home run, and Osseo leads it 3-0. Bottom of the third inning, Maple Grove gets back-to-back run-scoring hits. Emma Schifferle driving in Marie Palanch. RBI double for Schifferle. Aaron Roll then will drop in a hit. Schifferle will come around to score, and Osseo's lead is cut to 3-2. Same score in the sixth. The Crimson will tie it up. Roll doubles to the gap, scoring Schifferle, and it's a 3-3 game. Osseo takes the lead back in the top of the seventh. Maple Grove with an error, and then Lane Ruska with a hit down the line. Jacob scores, and it's 5-3 Orioles. But in the bottom of the seventh, the Crimson tie it again. Eleanor Schuette's hit misplayed by the outfielder here, and Amanda Tyler scores. Schuette later scored on a pass ball, and this one goes to extra innings. And they played 6 extra innings. 5-5 till the bottom of the 13th when Schuette comes home on an Osseo error, and Maple Grove wins this one. They outlast Osseo 6-5 Crimson, the final. The Section Boys Tennis Playoffs get underway later this week. The Armstrong Falcons tuned up for the postseason with a home match against Orono. Connor Olson serves for Orono to Nikito Snezhko in the #1 singles match. And Snezhko getting the winner. He wins 6-2, 6-3 for the Falcons. Second singles, Joe Lipovitz in the near court for Armstrong against John Kasner. Lipovitz getting the ball down the line. A nice passing shot here for the winner, and he wins 6-3, 6-1. But it's mostly Orono from there. Third singles play. Cade Pfeiffer serving for Orono to Matthew Jager. Pfeiffer fighting off the deep shot, and then with a nice cross-court winner. And he goes on to win his match at number 3 singles. First doubles play, Ben Phelps the serve, Tucker Gilbertson the smash for Orono. They win 6-2, 6-2 over True Landis and Tristan Kekkonen. The Spartans win at second and third doubles as well. And they go on to beat the Falcons 5-2. The Osseo Park Center boys lacrosse team enters play this week with 5 wins in their past 6 games. On this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12, we meet the team's top scorer, senior Boone Almquist. Here's a clip from that story. Coming off a 56-goal season as a junior, Boone is already closing in on 40 goals this spring through 9 games.
I like to think I'm a team player. So, I mean, my stats, I'm not just all goals. I like to find guys, dodge my head up, play some defense if I have to. I'm not afraid to go in the ground balls, just try to play an all-around game to help the team win.
Boone combines speed with great hands and vision to put him in an elite class of scorers in the state. Those around him wonder how he does it sometimes as they try to pinpoint the best part of his game.
I would say his ball control. I'll be standing at X and I will just shake my head how. Like he can, run through 3 people and still get a shot off. He can get his hands free quick. He's great at keeping his head up, so when he is triple teamed and he can't get that shot, he can always find somebody on the back door. And it impresses me, his ball control, and obviously his hard shot and his placement is definitely ridiculous too.
There's a lot of things that he does well. It's not just one thing. He doesn't just dodge well, he doesn't just pass well, he doesn't just shoot well, he does it all. And he's just very smart on the field.
You can see the rest of the Boone Almquist story and more on Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. on Channel 12, 799, and our website at 12.tv. Coming up Tuesday starting at 4, highlights from number 1 versus number 2 matchup in baseball. Mike Wayzata taking on Minnetonka.
And baseball weather's finally back.
Baseball weather's a little better this week.
You'll get them in. All right, Thank you very much. Still ahead, special recognition for a Maple Grove 4th grader. Her message on fire safety coming up next. Well, finally, an Elm Creek Elementary 4th grader helps her school get a big trophy. Stella Zelenak was Maple Grove's grand prize winner for the city's fire prevention poster contest. Stella's poster also won honorable mention in the statewide contest. For her creativity and effort, Stella receives a $25 cash prize, and her school gets to display a traveling trophy that has her name engraved on it. Simple message, but worth remembering.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us.
See you back here Tuesday starting at 4.